Welcome to the Kingdom Corner. I'm Andrew, and with me is my good friend Dale, the person who likes to wear hoodies in the morning when it's a little chilly, but that's all right. Hey, Dale, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you. Here we are, another week with the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's right. Going into week 4, have a late Sunday afternoon game against the Chargers. So, I mean, a division rivalry week already in week 4. So, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, it does not.
Unless you're
So,
playing the Super Bowl, I guess. That'd be a lot better. So,
well, yeah, playoffs are excluded from this.
that's right. So as
Yeah,
far as regular
regular
season
season.
goes, you got to get up for those division games. Those are the teams that know you well. So today we're going to be breaking down that game against the Chargers coming up this Sunday afternoon. Going to be talking about some Chiefs trivia and Chiefs history, as well as talking about some of these injuries. And hey, Kareem Hunt is in the building. So let's see what that's
Hey,
all
come on.
about.
Yes.
All right, stick with us and we'll jump right into this.
Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback cut. It is caught by Kelce. Touchdown! Kansas City. The game is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions.
How about those Chiefs?
All right, Dale. So Chiefs and Chargers at the Chargers Sunday afternoon, 3:25 Central Time. How are you
Okay.
feeling about this game going in? Because there's a lot of injuries.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird game with a lot of injuries for the Chargers and not knowing if Herbert's going to play, suit up, and go. And so, yeah, look, feels like a little bit of a trap game, but you kind of mentioned there, you got to get up for these divisional games. These are the most important. So you want to win your division first and foremost, then you want to win your conference, and then so you want to start. You had to start with these divisional games. You
Yeah.
have to get those easy 7, 8 wins. No, 6 wins. Six
There you go.
wins.
6
Six
wins.
wins. I did it. Public school education.
Hey, we won't fault you for it. So
No, yeah, 6
so
wins.
6 games. Yeah. So there's a lot of injuries for the Chargers you just mentioned. I
Yeah.
mean, Justin Herbert, he's got a high ankle sprain. He's limited in practice, which means he's there kind of doing some things, but really not doing hardly anything. Then you got Derwin James, who's been suspended for a game for apparently, allegedly, I'll say, because there's a lot of controversy over this, allegedly
Yeah.
some dirty hits.
Yeah.
And then they got 2 tackles, one a top 10 pick even.
Yeah.
He's trending towards out for the game, has not practiced at all this week. So
Yeah.
lots of things going on over there in the Chargers. I mean, and not to say that the Chiefs don't have a list of injuries of their own with Isaiah Pacheco, Marquise Brown, Clyde still out,
Yeah.
so and Mike Dana's on the injury report this week too. He just jumped on it yesterday for the first time. So I don't know if he injured in practice or what, but some kind of calf injury and limited practice and kind of right there in the middle of if he's going to go or not. So injuries all around for everybody.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting game for sure. And you kind of really won't know until right about kickoff, maybe an hour or two before kickoff, if Herbert will go. And so that'll make a big difference, I think, for the Chargers and what they can do on offense.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. All right. So one of the things too is there's being only 3 weeks completed into the NFL season, there's a lot of things that we still don't know about most teams. But usually
Right.
after about week 4, you start understanding who these teams are a little more. Because the first 2 weeks or so, some teams just haven't played good teams, or they play teams you think are going to be good who end up not
Yeah.
being good. And so about 4 to 6 weeks into the season is when you start really figuring out who teams are. And so we're going to figure out who the Chiefs are hopefully this week.
Hopefully.
I'm not saying we're going to, but and every
Yeah.
team's going to trend better as the season goes on, at least a little bit. They should be,
Right.
but you're going to at least get an idea of who they are, who they're going to be after this week. And so, what Chiefs offense is going to show up? I mean, that first week against the Ravens, it looked like no one was ever going to be able to stop them.
No.
And then we play these other teams, and we're like, okay, well, can the Chiefs score on anybody?
Yeah.
Just,
And I think like the big thing that stood out to me the first 3 games is I feel like the Ravens game we controlled the game.
Yeah.
I think the Falcons game for the most part I feel like we controlled most of that game.
Yeah.
The Bengals game we did not control. That was
Not at all.
That was a fortunate win, I'll say. Not lucky, but fortunate. A fortunate win for us, and so or for the Chiefs. And yeah, I just think that's probably the most important thing is like, how are the Chiefs going to play? Because their defense is, I know it's not talked about because Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes, Xavier Worthy, Rashid Rice now, I mean, just blowing up. They want to talk about that, but really our defense is, I almost to say elite, just, playing and they're flying around making hits. I mean, they are so fast when you look at them and just be able to cover. I mean, Connors is a safety and they're asking him to play, nickel. And he's doing an outstanding job. I mean, I think we need to tip our hat to Spags, and just like what he's done with this defense has just been incredible.
So you're saying they're an elite defense?
I don't know about that yet. I don't know, but I mean, like I think in moments they're elite, and I think it's like in the biggest moments they show up.
Yeah, and they're a fast defense.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Hold on.
Well,
I mean, I thought I was told by a specific person on this podcast that the Chiefs defense is going to be slower without Willie.
No. See, you're misquoting me.
I'm not misquoting. You just said it's a fast defense.
It is a fast defense. It could be our linebackers are slow. It could be faster if we had Willie Gay. It would be an elite defense. If Willie Gay was still.
If your linebackers aren't fast, you don't have a fast defense. That's the core of your defense, right there in the middle.
Well, listen, they those safeties and those corners make up a lot for those linebackers that are walking around.
Yeah, but they're 3 yards behind where the linebackers are going to be.
Right now, I know. Listen, we got Nick Bolton. We got Nick Bolton. That's all we need.
Nick Bolton is a shutdown defender.
Yes, he is.
And I'll go back to what we said at the beginning of the year. When he got torched by Isaiah Likely and the Ravens, trying to play coverage out there. And I think we both kind of said, hey, let's pump the brakes. Nick Bolton's a great player. He just gets caught out of position because his strength is not in coverage. His strength is running sideline to sideline, chasing down running backs or quarterbacks or whoever it is, stopping the run, as was evidence in our last game here against the Falcons on a 4th and inches.
Yeah.
Nick Bolton makes a tackle for like a 4-yard loss or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's elite.
That is elite. That's elite. He is elite.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
So, and then Leo Chanel. I mean, this is what they're asking him to do and come in and make different plays and play different positions. I mean, he's lined up as fullback, a couple times. And so, I mean, that guy's a football player. And Drew Tranquil, he's smart and he's a sure tackler. I will give him that. Like if you are in his path, you're coming through his path, he's going to tackle you. And so I'll give you that. I just don't think. I think what Willie Gay, even though he may not have been always in the right position, he was athletic enough to make a lot of plays.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. One of the keys for this game, not key for the game, but one of the things to watch out for, or something the Chiefs could and should take advantage of, is getting pressure on the quarterback. Whether it's Herbert or whoever else. The Chiefs, they're not necessarily creating a lot of sacks yet. They're creating some pressure. I'm not going to say that they're a top 5 pressure team or even top 10 by any means, but they're for sure putting some pressure. At least they are, I should say, in key situations.
Right. Yeah. Key situations.
I feel like throughout the middle of the game, they're missing their pressure. And like, where's the pressure? But it seems like when it comes to those key downs, those key situations, they know how to dial up pressure. That's credit to Spags, on some of those unique blitzes. And sometimes it's just Chris Jones clogging up the middle or your guy, Mike Dana there.
That's right. So, well, he's on the injury report, man. Give him a break.
Well, he is. But, that doesn't mean that he might not still be out there. So, but these guys can create pressure when needed. And so if nothing else, even if their tackles do play, they're going to be coming in a little bit banged up.
Right.
Which means even though they have great tackles, we should still be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah. And I think probably the tackles, whether the tackles can go and how healthy they are, I think will determine what Herbert does, because if they can't protect him in the pocket, that he's not going to go. I think Felix has shown up on the end. I mean, he's made a couple good big plays this sophomore year, and then I don't know about old Georgie boy. He's been there, but maybe a step or two late. So
Well, Georgia's probably created the most pressure on the outside.
Hmm.
As far as a whole defensive line, probably second behind Chris Jones. So he's
Yeah.
still one of our best pass rushers by far. But on the flip side, let me ask you this: do you feel like Patrick Mahomes has been running a lot and escaping the pocket in these games so far?
Yeah, I think more so. Yeah, more so than normal. Usually, we don't see him start running until the playoffs hit, and so yeah, more so.
So do you think that he should be escaping as often as he is?
I think if we keep stacking these dubs up, then yes, keep moving, and I mean like wisely. Like I think like that's the thing about Patrick is that he picks good moments. You never really see him get blown up in the regular season. And so I'd rather him, scamper for 3-4 yards, slide, and then instead of getting sacked in the backfield. So,
Yeah,
and I think you got Rashid Rice. I know it's his second year, and you got Xavier Worthy, and then Juju, who just came back. There's still Patrick Mahomes is 1 in a million, or maybe 1 in 9 billion. The way that he extends plays, and I still think they're figuring out like, okay, how do we need to move when he starts moving? Like Travis Kelce, he has it down.
yeah.
And so I just think, yeah, and then with the wide receiver, I think losing Pacheco is, another safety valve that Pat was using quite a bit is gone. And so I think, yeah, just trying to figure out, I think that maybe is why he's running a little more.
Well, I think part of the reason too is he doesn't trust that left tackle yet.
Well, not yet.
So, with the rookie
Yeah.
Kingsley Sumantua, and then now we have
Morris.
Wanye Morris, who's been filling in and did a great job last week.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah.
it looks like, according to Andrew's press conference, at least the Wanye Morris is going to continue to get that start at least until
Yep.
Kingsley can figure out some of these things. But let me give you a little stat here. Patrick
Okay.
Mahomes has been pressured on just 19% of his dropbacks this year so far,
Uh-huh.
which is the lowest pressure rate of his entire career.
Oh, wow.
And yet he seems to be escaping as much as he has ever.
Yeah.
And so I bring it up to say maybe part of the reason is just that Patrick Mahomes doesn't trust his blind side.
Yeah.
He's escaping instead of just trusting the guys to do their job.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, well, I am faulting him a little bit for it, but
Well, yeah.
but when you escape, you no matter who you are, even if you're Patrick Mahomes and can throw
Right.
a mile,
Yeah.
you're still limiting your field as soon as you start escaping to one side or
Right.
the other. So I
Yeah.
know he's unique to be able to throw back across his body and across the field, which is still dangerous no matter who you are.
Right.
Even though he's done it and made it work.
Yeah.
But you're still making that a harder throw than it needs to be. You're limiting your field. And if the guys are not paying attention, if they're not able to move your way too, it's just you limit your options when you start escaping and running if you're planning on still throwing it. And so Mahomes has got to learn to trust those guys too.
Oh, yeah. And I think like also what comes to mind is especially the Ravens and Bengals game felt very much playoff-ish environment.
Oh yeah.
And so like that also, that was probably the loudest opening game I've ever been to where that stadium was rocking and when the Ravens came to town. So I think there's like a little bit of hey, these games are heightened. Let's get this win. And so maybe he reverted back to that. But yeah, I do agree. He talked about in his press conference how he's playing bad football right now and he needs to clean up a bunch of things. And, it starts with him and, very much Andy Reid-esque. It's just, I do think it starts with him. And I think part of it is trusting those tackles until you can't trust them.
Trust them until you can't trust them.
That's right.
As good advice as any. Yeah, I'm going to trust you until I can't trust you.
Yeah, well, it's fool me once, shame on you. Me, fool me twice, shame on you.
Something like that. Yeah.
I think, yeah. So trust them, you can't trust them.
Yeah. All right. Well, the other side is going with the defense again still here.
Yeah.
The Chargers offense, their rushing attack has been pretty solid this year. It's not necessarily total yards, at least it's not necessarily one of the top ones, but they have the running back with the third most rushing yards and J.K. Dobbins. He
JK.
has 310 yards already this year, so he's averaging over 100 yards a game. And
Man.
so the Chargers have a league best this year. They're getting 2.3 yards per carry
Wow.
before contact.
Oh, wow.
So they're getting, over 2 yards before anyone's even touching them. And so if we want to, so in other words, they have a great offensive line that's creating some great holes,
Right.
which means our linebackers have got to be faster and our defensive
Good
line
luck with that.
yeah.
Just joking. I'm joking.
I know. Hey, but you said we have fast corners and safeties that can
That's
make up
right.
for it.
That's
So,
right. Well,
so
they'll
it
make
shouldn't
up for
matter,
it.
right?
It should not matter. Yeah. No, those, I mean, like Bolton and Tranquil will be in the right spot. That's what makes them good. That's what makes them elite
Yeah.
is that they're in the right spot where they need to be. So
Yeah.
them
Well,
be able to read coverage or read the line and stuff like that.
if they can play like they did the last play against Atlanta on that fourth down, they'll be
Yeah.
just fine.
Oh, yeah.
Right. When the defensive line can stay horizontal, not get vertical,
Yeah.
and if nothing else, at least not get pushed back. At least just hold your position. Don't let a guy just hit you and then get off on somebody else.
Yeah.
Hold him there at least and let somebody else make the play if nothing else. But that is something to look out for. The Chiefs' run defense has been much better as of late. I know the stats are a little bit skewed, and they're not really skewed, but because Lamar Jackson ran for so much against them
Right.
on unplanned running plays. And so if you take away their run defense has been pretty solid this year.
Yeah.
But with that said, that those stats still count, right?
Oh, yeah.
Lamar
Yeah. Yeah.
Jackson
Yeah.
yards
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
count against the Chiefs'
Right.
run defense. And so they are. Well, I feel like this has been like their kryptonite for the last few years. Even is like their
Right.
run defense, right? Like they'll
Yeah.
play great at sometimes, but then somebody will just come in and just have a day against them, and they just can't seem to stop them.
Right.
So they can't let that happen. So especially they're going to be leaning on that even more, I think, with the injury to Herbert, whether he does or does not play.
Yeah. Right.
They're going to be leaning on that run game, and so the Chiefs defense, if we're going to have a shot, they got to shut down the run game.
Yeah. And I think that's what you do. You load the box and you say, okay, Herbert, we're going to make you throw and move around and we're going to try to get pressure and create pressure. And so let's see what you got. And I think like J.K. Dobbins coming back from the injury, it's always good to see a guy like get on a new team and do well. And so happy for him. But, let's just not have a 100-yard game this week. Can you do that for us?
Yeah, that'd be all right by me.
So let's just and so I do think like the Chargers, their schedule is very fortunate. I know the first two games they played weren't like great opponents, and then they played the Steelers and they kind of got told what's what. So and so I know the Steelers defense is elite. I mean, that defense, whew,
it's good.
TJ Watt, my goodness, that guy lives in the backfield.
I don't know that any defensive player affects a game more than TJ Watt.
I mean, he's just amazing.
He might be the best defensive player in the league. And and I say that with all due respect to him because we got guys on our team like Chris Jones who has made it very vocal that he wants to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Right.
And I'm not saying anything away from Chris Jones. He's elite as well.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But man, I don't know that anybody affects a game or even a single play more and more consistently than TJ Watt.
Yeah.
That guy is just, if he's on the field, you got a shot to win.
Right. I mean, he's almost like Max Crosby would be a close for me, even though I can't stand the Raiders. But just to how his motor, like their motors, TJ and Max are just insane. Like like every play. I mean, you can see sometimes on the TV that like, oh, that guy took off this play. Yeah. Or he kind of didn't go as hard, or because it wasn't a 3rd and 15 or a 3rd and 6. They kind of just played patty cake. I mean, it doesn't matter what down it is for TJ and Max Crosby. I mean, those guys are just going fast. Anyway,
you're right. So
unfortunately, we have to play both those people, TJ and Max Crosby. Max Crosby twice, and the Steelers on Christmas Day. I think is it Christmas Day? Yeah,
I think so, and I think it's in Pittsburgh as well. So,
oh man,
I think don't quote me on that, but I can tell you actually, it is. Yeah, it is in Pittsburgh.
There you go.
There you go. But we're going to find out how good the Chargers are, how well they bounce
Yeah.
back. They got a new coach this year too, and
Oh man, we talked about Coach
I
Hardball.
know I always get the Jim and John mixed up. I
Yeah,
think this is Jim, right? That's with
that's
the
right.
Chargers.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
right. Very
there you
good.
go. I'm figuring it out.
That's right.
So Jim Harbaugh is now the coach of the Chargers. His first year, he's a great offensive coach, not so
Yep.
sure, but he's never been able to win the game. He's brought teams to the Super Bowl, even when he
Right.
was with the 49ers, did great. Uh, well, I was about to, yeah, I'll just say it. So I was about to say he made Colin Kaepernick look good,
Yeah, a bunch of
and I'm
money. He got him a bunch of money.
right,
So
and I'm not saying that to create
no,
division because I know people are have mixed
passionate,
opinions on him, one way or the other.
very
But
passionate people.
the truth is, when when John Harbaugh left,
Jim, you're
oh
right.
sorry, Jim Harbaugh, when
You were
he
right.
left,
Trust your instincts.
there you go. When he left the 49ers, I mean, what happened? I
Oh
mean,
man.
this guy just fell off a cliff. Like he got
Yeah.
benched not because of anything else other than he just got outplayed and wasn't
Right, right.
performing. And so just to say how good a coach makes a difference in a player.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
And Herbert was already good. I think with this coach, he's going to take him to the next level even.
Right.
So, and that might not happen, in the first 4 games, but it might happen by the end of the season. So the team
Yeah.
we play now versus the team that we play later in the year in
Yeah.
December is probably going to look like a much different team and a much different Herbert even as Coach Harbaugh, tools him into a great player or an even
Yeah.
better player, I should say.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it'll be it's kind of I was not happy when Jim Harbaugh got the job at the Los Angeles Chargers because he is a good coach. Just won a national championship with Michigan. Like you
Yeah.
said, just took Stanford, made Stanford something for those years. And then so I just think he's great. He'll get the best out of his players and everyone will be like will be ready to play. I mean, I think
Yep.
prepared. I don't think there's going to be very many games where the hardball teams are like ill prepared, and so I think that's probably
Yeah.
his biggest quality. And so and he loves ball. He loves football.
Yep.
He's out there with the wide receiver gloves, wears cleats, I think, to practice. I mean, just loves
With his Walmart khakis.
those Walmart khakis, beats up his quarterback before every game, to start smacking him around. And so, it should be fun. So it should be fun to see Andy Reid. And I think it's a good test for Andy Reid too. It's like two minds going against each other. So,
Yeah. Well, and so speaking of guys coming back to the league, Kareem Hunt,
oh yeah,
has been in the league but hadn't been on a team this year, signed with the Chiefs. The Chiefs have activated him to the 53-man roster. So I don't know how much playing time he's going to get, but I am confident he's going to get a few carries.
Oh yeah, he looked good. I saw his press conference. He looked lean and mean, and
Been staying in shape, huh?
Yeah, it looked like he's been staying in shape. I think So I think it'll be. I know he's excited about the opportunity to come and play, and so hopefully he can get help the Chiefs get a ring. And who knows what could happen with, and like it's crazy to think like it's a good problem to have a lot of good running backs, right? Because you have Piron he's solid. The rookie Carson Steele who's solid, and then Pacheco. We all know who Pacheco is, and so
yeah.
But
well, do you think that Kareem Hunt is going to have much left in the tank for this year?
I think he'll leave everything. I think he'll leave everything on the field.
Well, and I say it because there's
Yeah,
probably a reason he wasn't on any other team while he's available for the Chiefs to pick up, right?
I think he came off an injury. I think he had off-season surgery, is what I understand. So,
but either way, no team picked him up.
Right.
He's still sitting there at home on the couch thinking, okay, well, I guess I'm done.
Yeah.
And he gets a call, says, hey, we need you. Are you interested?
And who knows if he turned down people, like maybe he was sitting there waiting to like figure out like, hey, maybe week 3, week 4, there's going to be a running back that goes down. And I want to go to a contender since he is getting up there in age. I
think you're just stretching it now.
No, he is getting up. I mean, he is for a running back. He's up there in age, right? So
he's 29.
Yeah, that's like might as well ship
30 is when you retire as a running back. But
yeah, he's right there. Like I'd rather play for the Kansas City Chiefs than the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, but you're telling me that a team calls and says, you know what, I don't want to play. I'm waiting for somebody to get hurt. That's what he's banking on, is somebody to get hurt to make a a team on a contender?
Yeah, I think that's a
don't
real
know.
thing. I think that's a real thing. I think players do that all the time.
Yeah, if they feel like someone's really going to be in that position, but you're putting a lot on somebody actually getting hurt. What if no one gets hurt and you're just stuck at home doing nothing?
Well,
And
what
then,
are the odds?
and
What are the odds of no one getting hurt?
well, there's a, I see your point there, but what's the odds of you sitting on your couch and then coming
Yeah.
into the league to make a huge difference at that time when you haven't been with the team, you haven't learned the offense?
Yeah. Well, he has been with the team 2 years.
Well, I mean, hasn't been with the Chiefs though. Like being with the team you're going to play for and learning their playbook makes a huge difference.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Andy Reid in his press
I
conference said he picked up everything. He retained a bunch from the Kansas when he played 2 years.
I
2 years
believe
with
it.
them.
I still think you're full of it. So
Full of it, yes. But I mean, like, I think you're at
there
that
isn't
age.
anybody sitting at home thinking, you know what, I'm getting calls from teams and I still want to play. I'm just going to sit here and wait, see what happens.
Yeah, wait for your options, best options. He's made a bunch of money in the league.
You can sit on the practice squad and at least be in football shape, running through all these drills and still get picked up by somebody else.
But then you're flying.
You're not in a contract or guaranteed to any team if you're on their practice squad. So why not join someone's practice squad?
Well, because then you have to move. You have to move to Arizona. It's hot in Arizona. You're like, I don't want to be
throwing out Arizona
or Miami. There's hurricanes going down there. I mean, like, why would I want to be around hurricanes? I'm just gonna wait here in Cleveland, and just my hometown, and I'm just gonna wait for the call that the Kansas City Chiefs or the Baltimore Ravens or the Buffalo Bills, they may call me. Who knows? They may try to get some tips. Try to get some tips from me from my days in Kansas City.
They might. Who knows? The Bengals are for sure known to do that.
Yes,
for sure.
Exactly. See,
and the Ravens too. So
yeah.
I don't know about the Bills so much, but the other two for sure. But
yeah.
Anyways, I digress. But just wanted to.
All right.
I don't think that's the case. But either way, the point is, I am glad that he's on the team. I'm glad that we were able to pick someone up who was here 5 years ago. And, was able to retain some of that. So I think he'll make some contributions. I want to see him on the field before I'm going to say he's going to make great contributions. Because even in the last couple of years with Cleveland, like his first year or two with Cleveland, he made a huge impact. And his production in the last few years in Cleveland has slowly declined. So,
well, Chubb, you got Chubb there. You got Chubb.
But even with injuries to Nick Chubb, like Kareem Hunt wasn't just exploding off.
Oh, that's true.
Either. So,
well, let me ask you this: you think Andy Reid's promoting him to the team, the 53-man roster, just for fun?
Oh no, I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I'm saying reel in your expectations. Don't think you're getting 2018 Kareem Hunt.
Listen, we're getting. I can't wait.
You're not. Getting
I can't wait.
Okay.
We're scoring 40. I'm changing my score. You just changed my score. Thank you very much.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Well, we'll see. Well, since you mentioned score, let's go ahead and say, what's your score prediction?
Well, no, we got to talk about one other offensive player.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Travis Kelce owns the Chargers, owns them, and so I mean, this is, if anything, for a get right game, this would be perfect for Travis Kelce to get right. No Derwin James, which is huge. Who, maybe Derwin James should have been suspended after that hit he put on Travis Kelce a couple years ago, where he picked him up and pile drived him into the ground. And so, no Derwin James. And then, Travis Kelce is here. I promise you, is hearing everything that people are saying, that he's old, he's distracted,
out of shape,
and it's just like, I promise you, he hears that. And so, I think it is going to be a Travis Kelce and a Kareem Hunt heavy offense.
I don't know about Kareem Hunt.
I'm just anyway.
All right.
So the last 18 games that Travis Kelce has played, the Chargers.
I'm assuming that's all of them then, right?
That's all of the games he's played. Okay. 18. So those will be 19 and 20 this year. He has 100 catches for 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, and he's 16-2 against the Chargers.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
That is, I mean, like, Travis Kelce is going to, and I was watching the Rich Eisen show, and so that's where I got those stats. So hopefully they're correct. But if not, text Rich and he'll correct them. But yeah, no, but I think like I think that'll be something to watch for is watch Travis Kelce and see what he does against the Chargers. I mean, there's so many memories of Travis Kelce and the Chargers that.
Well, I think it was last year, maybe the year before, that Travis Kelce had 25 yards catching, but he had 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns. So, yeah, one game. I remember that overtime game where he walked off the game. That was pretty special, pretty amazing. And so, yeah, I just think like it's gonna be a fun game. I think so. Going to our scores, I think it's gonna be a big blowout for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't think Herbert is going to play. Just because they have a bye week next week, and I think they'll rest Herbert 2 weeks, let that ankle heal completely. Because what good does it do you going into every game questionable? You know, like if you just don't, if you don't get, especially a high ankle sprain, it just takes for a long time to heal. So I'm saying the Chiefs 42, the Chargers 9.
Oh man,
yeah,
that is a blowout.
Yes.
All right, 42-9. I'm not going to go with one quite that large.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, the betting totals is 40 is the over-under.
Right.
So you're saying it's way over then.
I just think I think the Chiefs are hearing the noise that the Chiefs are washed. It's their defense that's running it. And I think they're like, I think this is a good get-right game.
Oh, yeah. And, Patrick Mahomes, when he hears all that, that's motivation.
Yes.
You don't want to give motivation to the great players of all time.
No.
So
no, you do not.
Just use it. So, yeah, I'm going to go with a similar score, but not quite that large. I'm going to go Chiefs 31.
Okay.
Wait, no, 34, I mean. There you
34.
go.
All right.
Chiefs 34. Chargers 13.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's a pretty big score too. I mean, that's a blowout for sure.
It is, but not like yours. You got
that's true.
41-9.
Well, they're going to score 42 points in the first half, the Chiefs. I just think it's going to.
The first half. All right. You heard it here first. Dale
there you
says
go.
42 in the first half. So
we'll see.
All right. Hey, I need to ask you one question real quick about Travis Kelce since you brought him. Do you think he's distracted? Do you think he's washed? Do you think he's just out of shape? What do you think any of those things are true?
No, I don't think. I mean, I think he looks like in the best shape that he's looked in a while, really, just looking at him. And then also, I think Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Nags have all said they're bracketing him or they're doubling him. And so I think that's why Rashid Rice had such a big game the other night was because you're going to do that to Travis Kelce. We got other players and Rashid Rice just ate. And so I think now that the defenses are going to have to do something about Rashid Rice, they're going to have to either put a guy over help and that's going to help Travis Kelce. So I think it's going to be, at this point, it's going to be Mahomes is going to look at the matchups. Okay, who's got the matchup? That's where the ball's going. And it's nice to see that all these guys are selfless in the sense of okay, hey, let's just get those W's, Yeah,
absolutely. All right. So I agree with all that. I don't, that's my thoughts on it too. So I won't repeat it. But
all right.
So let's go to our favorite segment of the week.
Taking Dale
to school. Taking Dale to
school.
Man. So my question for you this week is, what Chiefs player set the NFL record for most touchdowns in a season?
Priest Holmes.
Correct, Priest Holmes. I was going to give you a year if you needed, but I thought you'd probably get that one.
Yeah. Priest Holmes had he had a crazy year, man.
Yeah, so Priest Holmes, one of the greatest players to never be drafted in the NFL.
Yeah.
Went undrafted, got picked up by the Baltimore Ravens in 1997. There were 7 running backs taken in that draft.
Yeah.
None of them included Priest Holmes. Only 3 of them have more all-time rushing yards than Priest Holmes. And those ones who have more yards than him are Warwick Dunn, Corey Dillon, and Tiki Barber. So
wow.
Those are the only running backs in that draft that have more career rushing yards than Priest Holmes. And Priest Holmes played with Baltimore for 4 years. Then he signed with the Chiefs, and when he signed with the Chiefs, their offense exploded. That's the days of Trent Green, Tony Gonzalez. I almost don't want to say Dwayne Bowe, but I'll say Dwayne Bowe too. So Dwayne Bowe was good. Dwayne Bowe, I'm not going to get caught up in
No,
this.
don't get caught up. Don't get caught up.
But he was the guy who would make the crazy hard catches and would drop the easy ones.
Oh yeah.
That's what Dwayne Bowe was.
Oh yeah.
So, but either way, I digress. So
there you go.
That was in. But you can tell me yours too if you want. But I'll tell you some of the best memories of watching Chiefs was with Priest Holmes. I mean, he is probably my all-time favorite Chiefs player.
There you go.
And by the time Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are done, could change. Who knows? But as far as the past, Priest Holmes is my favorite player to watch. You get down there to the goal line, you get within 3 yards even. Priest Holmes was going to jump that pile, and he was going to run over or jump through whoever was in his way, and there's no one that's going to stop him.
No one's going to. I mean, in that little sideline, a little opened up his body when he scored, a little slide into the end zone. I mean, which is impressive. I mean, Priest Holmes just being scoring like that and running like that is pretty impressive because they were like a throwing offense. I mean, this was right around the greatest show on turf. Trent Green had got knocked out. Kurt Warner goes in. Trent Green comes up to Kansas City, and man, they were throwing the ball all over the yard. They just couldn't stop a single person on the defensive side. So that's why that's why the Chiefs never won, or why Tony Gonzalez never got a ring.
Yeah, our defense was awful.
Yeah. So, but Priest Holmes was amazing to watch, and I think that really what revived the Chiefs. Dick Vermeil, baby, man, what a time, what a time. So.
Well, a few other quick stats for you before we
all
end here with Priest Holmes. So Priest Holmes, in 1 year in 2001, had over 1,500 rushing yards.
Wow.
So in NFL history, there's been no other player except for Priest Holmes that has ran or had more than 6,500 scrimmage yards and 60 touchdowns in a 3-year span.
Wow.
No one else has had anywhere close to that in a 3-year span. He is the best running back in a 3-year span in NFL history. So there's your quick facts for today. I'll give you A+ for today, Dale. You got that right away.
Pretty close.
Didn't even hesitate.
Well, going back to my 2 favorite players to watch. My 2 favorite, Derek Thomas, which I know everyone loves Derek Thomas, and then Jamal Charles. I think Jamal Charles was probably one of my favorite Chiefs to watch. I mean, that guy was relentless.
Yeah. So, there's so many good players that we could go through, but those are all great players. Tony Gonzalez, you got to throw his.
Oh yeah, you got to throw the touchdown, dunk in the goalpost. I mean, my goodness, there's so many.
Yep. Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for joining us on this episode of the Kingdom Corner. Make sure you like, and whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening through a podcast, make sure you subscribe or follow us or whatever the way is in the platform you're watching on. And more than anything, leave us a review or comment too. Those things there, commenting and leaving a review, that helps us more than anything get this podcast out to other people so that more people can hear great Chiefs news without all the negativity around it as well. So this episode is brought to you by Oh Hey Threads. Get yourself a super soft tee at ohheythreads.com. You can get yourself a super soft Chiefs one, or hey, even a Kingdom Corner shirt. They got those.
There you go. Come on.
So every purchase from Oh Hey Threads goes to support missions all over the world, one super soft tee at a time. We'll see you next time right here in the Kingdom Corner.